status based on their participation as we go from there. In regards to the depth chart with them, I'm sure that question will come. Andy's the 1, Justin's the 2, and Nick as the 3. Starter will be sorted out once we have a clearer picture moving forward here. So we'll know more, and we'll clear that up.
What would you think, Jay and Max, if Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, or Nick Foles and Justin Fields, or Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, and Justin Fields decide to say, you know what, man, we all injured. We don't want to play because we know how you go design stuff, and we know what this offensive line is like. So they may not even be excited about getting underneath the center, messing around with Matt Nagy.
Who looks best right now out of all this? Who's the name that comes to mind where you go, you know what? That dude's looking better every day.
Mitchell Trubisky. I said it yesterday.
Trubisky, for sure. And I think, Matt Nagy, he's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. And I'm a patient guy when it comes to coaches and stuff. But he's really starting to get on my nerves because every single day he comes with something different, even though it's the same thing. It's like, why don't you just say who the damn starter's going to be and go from there instead of this? You act like you hiding. You act like you making – who the hell they play this week?
The Lions.
You act like you getting ready to have Dan Campbell sit back and go, well, they got Brett Favre, they got Peyton Manning, and they got John Elway.
Who should we prepare for?
Who should we prepare for? Like, come on, man. Stop.
Wait, here's a sign of a good leader. When you're definitive, when you say, this is where it is, follow me. For bad or for good, you tell somebody, here is the plan. It just seems like with Matt Nagy, there's wavering constantly. And if there's a game for a rookie quarterback to find his rhythm after the game plan that you put him in didn't work, it would be against a team that's 0-3.
Okay.
It would be against the Lions.
Is this from Nagy definitive or nebulous? Listen.
He's going to have a lot of different games in his career, and that one was a rough one, and I put that on me. That's on me for why that went that way, and I got to learn from that, and we got to learn from that. But I think we have some answers.
It's on you after 6 days later or whatever it's been. Yeah, you should have said that at halftime and made the damn adjustments and put him in better position to be successful. Don't tell me now on a Thursday that, or Wednesday, it's on me, that one's on me. It was on you on Sunday. It was on you in the first half.
Did anybody hear him say, I think we have some answers? I just said, be definitive. If you just came out and you said, that's on me, why would you even say before that, Andy's number 1, Justin's number 2? No, it was on you that Justin played the way he did in the game against the Browns. So don't tell me you think you have answers. Say, we have the answers now. We are going to roll out a different offensive scheme that you will see on Sunday versus the Lions.
Maybe he does not have the answers.
Well, then he shouldn't be
And
coached.
here's the other thing.
Really?
Here's the other thing. Everyone was very quick to point out all the quarterbacks and how things have changed, where you start them early and everything else. But in fact, in the NFL, what we're seeing, as usual, is like Joe Burrow last year until he got hurt was an exception. Justin Herbert, a rare exception. What we're seeing this year is much more normal. Rookie quarterbacks, especially key, as you point out, in not great situations, struggle, right? So there's also the possibility here. I think it's probable. Key, I'm interested to know what you think about this. And here are the rookie quarterbacks showing it on ESPN News right now. Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Davis Mills, Justin Fields. It ain't good. Touchdown, interception ratio, one-loss record.
They're all
so they
on
won
bad
the
teams.
Right? I thought Davis Mills looked decent.
Did I do the math right? They 1-10?
Yeah, that's one win. That's right.
Yeah.
1-10. I did the math right. I just wanted to make sure, Evan, that my Stanford education kicked in.
1-10 with more interceptions than touchdowns. So if Justin Fields maybe he's just not ready because Key,
that's not it,
the situation isn't good. It's a bad O-line.
But that's not it, though. You Max. Again, I said this earlier in the week when Dan Orlovsky was on with us. Me and Dan Orlovsky right now, man, can go put a competent game plan together. I'd be the head coach. He could be the OC. And we could have success with Justin Fields. because we're not leaving him standing in the pocket with a bad offensive line, getting a you-know-what kicked out of him, and allowing him to lose whatever little bit of confidence that he had prior to the game.
I think we have some answers.
With a young guy like that, you run the football with Montgomery, you dink and dunk,
Sure.
you play sound defense, and you take a shot here and there. The
That's what they're doing with Mac Jones. Yeah.
The New England Patriots are doing something very similar.
Yep.
Very.
But Zach Wilson looks terrible. Trevor Lawrence here looks
Wilson
bad.
is out there playing with a bunch of U's and me's and J's. No players on that team, man.
If I'm
all the rookies except for Mac Jones, because they're doing what you say. He's about to be 1-3. But all the rookies look like rookies.
But I can fix that.
Latest from New England, including how that other quarterback is preparing for this game. That's next. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
Over there in Wall Street.
Season run we've ever seen from any pitcher ever, and they get knocked out in one game. In 2015, the Pirates again are in the wild card game, and they run into Jake Arrieta at the end of the greatest second half that we've ever seen from any pitcher ever. And I remember talking to Andrew McCutcheon the following spring with the Pirates at the time, and there was that feeling of it not being fair, but that's the reality of the wild card game, and that's the reality of the Dodgers. If they get to next Wednesday with the wild card game, and they're facing Adam Wainwright, whose heart rate at age 40, you guys know, will be 50 beats a minute, he will absolutely handle that moment. That's a dangerous situation for the Dodgers.
No matter what our bats did last night, right? We have 4 jacks, and clearly we're a deep ball team, but when we go up against a guy like that, won't we have a slight edge?
It's one game, Key.
But to that point, Buster, to that point, Scherzer is the type of pitcher, power pitcher that, strikeouts, like much higher strikeout per inning pitch, rate than a guy like Wainwright, who's older, doesn't have the same stuff as Scherzer, maybe ever, but certainly not right now. Doesn't that favor the Dodgers, the power arm for that one game?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think that, there's no question that the Dodgers would be favored in that game, but the Cardinals obviously are playing well. Paul Goldschmidt's been hot. Tyler O'Neill has played like one of the best outfielders in baseball down the stretch. But when you got Adam Wainwright on the mound and Yadi Molina behind the plate, the Dodgers are going to feel this way. They're not going to be taking anything for granted. It would be a fascinating matchup to see Adam, pitching in that spot at this age against Max Scherzer, who grew up rooting for the Cardinals as a kid, as a product of Missouri. That would be a lot of fun.
Yadier's a great point, by the way, calling the game too, all that experience.
Buster Olney joining us, ESPN Baseball Insider, here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Buster, the Yankees' 7-game win streak ends, and now they have a 1-game lead over the Red Sox in the wild card race. There are 4 teams that can get into those 2 spots now. So who do you think will end up playing in that wild card game?
Jay, thank you for not asking me to explain what would happen in the event of a 3 or 4-way tie, okay? Because that would suck up the rest.
Wilson is out there playing with a bunch of U's and me's and J's. No players on that team, man.
All the rookies except for Mac Jones, because they're doing what you say. He's about to be 1-3. But all the rookies look like rookies.
But I can fix that.
Latest from New England, including how that other quarterback is preparing for this game. That's next. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
Over there in Wall Street.